campaign bosses weren't all that difficult. The world bosses aren't all that difficult. And that is all really disappointing. I also feel like some of these counters, while they were interesting, they didn't feel all that unique or inspired really. And I felt like playing a game like Lost Ark, I faced encounters and boss fights that had much more interesting and fresher takes on ARPG boss fight encounters.
Comparing Diablo boss fights to Lost Ark is so bad though. Like you can't, that's literally the one thing the game does really well, right? And I don't think that I don't think Lost Ark, I guess it is an ARPG, but it's like the whole game is boss fights. This game is about like crafting your own build, going through looting a bunch of shit, and like going through the campaign. I don't think it's comparable, right? Like, that's coming from me who plays a lot of Lost Ark. I don't think the games are that similar. And I think if you go into the game expecting Lost Ark boss fights and combat, you're going to be
10
bummed.
months. Let's get it, El Sheesh. Hope you are doing good, man. Stoopzz love.
Squeeze it. Thanks for the tier 1 10 months, bro. It is comparable, but why is it comparable to you? That's like comparing Lost Ark to PoE. Why does Diablo get put to the same test of Lost Ark, but PoE doesn't? They're not the same, right? When I'm playing when I was playing, what's the other ARPG called? Last Epoch, yeah. We're not comparing that to Lost Ark. We don't compare World of Warcraft to Diablo. If you do, it's a terrible comparison, right? Lost Ark has like, you buy your accessories from the auction house, you craft the one or maybe if you're lucky 2 builds available to you, and that's it. And then you do raids. This game is constantly about like going through and trying to make your own build. It's a different kind of game than looting all your shit from the dungeons and spamming the dungeons with a more infinite grind. I think it's a bad comparison. And I'm a Lost Ark Andy, right? I think it's just setting the game up for like a weird comparison, an unreachable comparison. They're not the same games. They're different games, and that's why you can enjoy them for what they are. You know, it's a weird expectation from the game to have, and I think a lot of people are doing that. Why? Because they said that they want to have more MMO light elements. I don't even think they've even said that. I feel like people have just put that out there because they have more open world stuff. They're not the same game. Does you play strong in D4? It seems like it's much stronger to be in a group, right? But why can't D4 have interesting combat? It can, but it's not the focus of the game, right? They put their time and focus into other things like itemization and builds and build complexity, right? It's not what the game is. It's like what you want out of a game, right? Of course, do you think, wouldn't it be cooler if D4 had fucking insane animations in combat? Sure, but I don't think that's why people get into Diablo in the first place. They just go into it to like slay shitloads of mobs and gather gear. Do I think that would be cool? Yeah. But